Manitoba Ag Days is a key annual event that showcases agricultural production, expertise, technology, and equipment, drawing exhibitors and visitors from across Canada and the USA. This year's event took place in January at the Keystone Center in Brandon. During the exhibition, Premier Wab Canoe and Agricultural Minister Ron Krustishin made a significant announcement regarding two new Manitoba Agricultural Service Corporation offices in Verdun and Shoal Lake. NACTV took the opportunity to interview various agricultural businesses on the final day of the exhibition, with some businesses from Nipawin and area in attendance. Agriculture plays a vital role in Nipawin's economy. The Prairie Mountain region has over 95 registered businesses in oilseed and grain farming, along with other industries such as hog farming, cattle ranching, and poultry and egg production. The recent announcement regarding the expansion of agricultural offices is poised to play a crucial role in strengthening agriculture in rural areas. This initiative will help bolster the sector, particularly in the face of challenges such as tariff threats and other ongoing issues with the agricultural industry.
All right. Hello, everybody. I want to acknowledge that we're on Treaty 2 territory in the Dakota Oyate homeland, as well as the homeland of the Red River Métis. I'm here with Minister Ron Krustishin, the Agriculture Minister here in the great province of Manitoba at Ag Days. Here to welcome everyone to another great year of Ag Days and to celebrate the organizers and the people who make this happen each and every year. It's a great driver for the ag industry. It's also a great driver for our economy, particularly here in Brandon and the Westman. Our team was very proud today to announce that we are opening two new mask service centers. Now, this is reversing a trend that you saw under the previous government, with offices closing one after the other, services leaving small rural communities. We're reversing that trend. We're investing in small town Manitoba. In particular, these two new locations, which have been long awaited. There's been a lot of communities across Manitoba, advocating for themselves and asking that we locate in their region. And so we're very proud to say that these two new mask service centers will be in Verdun and in Shoal Lake. Importantly, this is going to help some 1,600 mask clients. And after these offices open later this summer, 94% of mask clients will be within a 1-hour drive of a mask service center, which is a dramatic improvement from the current status quo. So, a lot to do, but an important milestone along the way of investing in the ag industry here in Manitoba, which is the backbone of our economy. So with that, I'll open things up for questions here in the room.
Talk about the offices. How are you expecting that to benefit in terms of, time until the adjuster gets out to the road and that sort of thing?
Well, I think that cutting down on road travel helps to ensure that the turnaround time is much quicker. And there's also the benefit to the local economy in communities where you have rent being paid for these offices. You have people spending money in town on other services, going out to eat, visiting stores and things like that. So there's really a spin-off effect for the local community, which is part of why we see this as an economic development investment. Certainly this is first and foremost about supporting the ag industry and producers, but if we can help to ensure that rural economic development goals are being lifted at the same time that we're giving a boost to producers, I think that's a win-win situation for everybody.
As a follow-up question, is this announcement going to come with additional hiring of those kinds of adjusters and that sort of thing?
Yeah, maybe I'll invite Minister Krustishin to talk a bit more on the announcement from his perspective.
Sure.
Yeah.
Basically, the two new centers will have 4 permanent staff per new location, plus one part-time person in each location. Now, I'm proposing that these will be new employees, but I'm not 100% sure on that, but definitely a certain amount of carryover from other locations as well.
Is this in reaction to trying to boost up eggs as well, with the potential threats we're facing from ducks?
Well, we are spending a ton of time strengthening the trade relationship with the United States of America, but there are many, many people across the province who will be quick to put up their hand and say, we've been pushing for these mask service center offices to be reopened for years now. And so I think that while we think that this investment in supporting producers, it'll definitely help us, because ag is one of those key points of the relationship we have with the U.S. I think the reality here is that this is about responding to our own needs here and strengthening our own economy here at home, and just listening to people in Manitoba who've been saying, this part of the province has been underserved by in-person mask service centers, and it's really important for us to have that standard of more and more producers being in a 1-hour drive of a mask service center.
Strategically, why Verdun and Shoal Lake? What was the thought process?
Well, I think there was a long process. I'll definitely invite Minister Kostishin to share his perspective. But I think one of the key things that we looked at is, if you look at a map of southern Manitoba and you look at where all the points on the map are that have existing mask service centers, you'll see in the west there is a real need. And so we definitely kicked the tires, if you will, on several potential locations. And while weighing that 1-hour drive standard of reaching more people against the facilities and infrastructure that communities had to offer to host these, Verdun and Shoal Lake came out as the consensus choices for us to make this an announcement. And so we're looking forward to summer when we can open the doors on both of these two locations. But I'll invite Ron up to share his perspective.
Yeah, thank you, Premier, and definitely I think you pretty well answered the question that was asked. It is basically with Mass staff was to do an investigation of the large vacancy, and as the Premier indicated, it was the west side, and in just a matter of appropriate timing for the producers to travel a certain distance was kind of the template, if I could use that terminology, to establish the appropriate locations for the mask offices in that area.
What kind of feedback do you guys get on the online services? This is bringing an office back, like a physical presence. It's also offered online. What kind of feedback do you guys get on online chat?
As far as the online chat, I'm being totally honest that I haven't been privy to that, but I'm sure that's somewhere in the system. But obviously, when the announcement was made, it was definitely very positive in that geographic area, because I think some producers and some other communities that were asking also for mask office to be opened up, as I spoke to them, they were very understanding of their challenges, right? Someone that's 20 miles away from another mask office versus these locations were well over an hour plus, they understood the opportunity to look at those two locations was a high priority.
Yeah.
How important, you mentioned Team Canada, are you seeing that happening with all the premiers who are kind of helping boost up the country?
Yeah, it's really amazing when you have New Democrats and Conservatives, Liberals, nonpartisan premiers all coming together and being in that room with the other leaders, hearing folks who are maybe in a different part of the country saying, we're not going to leave oil and gas workers behind. And then people from the West saying, we're not going to leave the auto workers behind. And everyone saying, ag is super important, the energy sector is super important. That's really good for Canada. And it's not great that it comes under such a challenging economic circumstance, but the fact that you see so much Canadian pride happening right now, I think is a positive sign for our country. And so, I encourage consumers and producers, everybody really in the supply chain, if you have that opportunity to support our economy here at home, now's a great time to do so.
We're looking at potentially February 1st, seeing something becoming. How prepared are we as industries within Manitoba?
Well, America is our most important trading partner, and job one is to strengthen that relationship and to make the case to Americans that having access to what we export as Manitobans, to what people go to work each day to produce, is good for them. It's good for us, first of all, like the jobs and the economic benefits we see in Manitoba. That case is very clear. But if there's a Trump tariff tax, that's going to raise prices on consumers in the States. And I don't think anyone wants that, right? And so we're making that case really strongly. There's tons of trips down to the States to make the case in person. We'll be back as a group of premiers in DC to make that case to the new administration on February 12th. And our hope is that in the first instance, we can just preserve the trade relationship as it is. If things get to a more challenging position, we have a series of contingency plans in place to support your jobs and to support the Manitoba economy. But I think what we've seen so far is that the more measured approach of focusing on the relationship first and trying to make that case seems to be the right first move, if you will.
How important is ag in that conversation? Because it has the potential to really get hampered.
Well, it's huge. And I'll give you an example. When we talk to folks in North Dakota and South Dakota about ag, there's an immediate recognition of the importance, in part because goods are traveling back and forth across the border so many times, but also because they share having ag as a backbone for their economies too. And I don't know if you watched the inauguration yesterday, but North Dakota and South Dakota have a lot of influence in the new administration. And so us just continuing to make that case with our partners and friends south of the 49th parallel and saying, listen, energy, agriculture, manufacturing, you name it, as long as we can continue trading with one another, it's good for our jobs, it's good for your jobs, it's good for our cost of living, it's good for your cost of living too. And so that's where we want to keep the relationship. We know that obviously there's a much more complicated scenario than that, but if we can keep it as an agreement between friends who recognize what's good for each of our constituents, then I think that that's how we keep things moving forward in a good way.
At what point does trade diversification come into the conversation? Because, not only just in terms of our other international partners, but even in terms of, trade barriers even between provinces, there are some that we can identify, things like, trade and that sort of thing, where there are barriers. So is that part of this conversation in terms of tackling some of those barriers?
It is. Diversifying export markets to other international destinations is something that we're investing in. We invested in the GATE project with Cereals Canada as one example. So let's have more, markets that we're targeting overseas come here to Manitoba and learn about how they can use what we export in their manufacturing processes. So that's something that we're going to continue to invest in as a matter of course. It's part of just growing our economy. At the same time, internal trade is something that we're happy to continue the conversation on. I can tell you that that's been raised with the other premiers. The thing on that conversation was Manitoba's a leader there. So, for us to see the benefits of internal trade, it would really be for a lot of the other provinces, I think, to do some work to address some of those trade barriers. And if that happens, certainly we would work with them to ensure that we're boosting the Canadian economy and ensuring that producers can see the benefit of that. But at the same time, there is no replacing the United States of America as an export destination. So for us, it's really an all of the above approach. Yep, we'll work on diversifying international market access. Yeah, we'll work on internal trade. And double, triple, yeah, we're going to lean into the U.S. Trade relationship.
Just on that note, is there a more definite timeline in terms of that trade office in Washington?
Probably the next few months. Yeah, no, we've got some excellent people who've stepped up, and I think a great candidate that we're pretty far along the conversation with. At the same time, we got to work with Global Affairs Canada because we're targeting having this office in the embassy in Washington, D.C., but the federal government would be the landlord, so we got to go through the due diligence and getting the lease together and all that. But I think we're really leaning hard into this relationship at the political level, and having a U.S. trade ambassador on behalf of Manitoba, if you will really be that important next step. But let's also remember, D.C. is one center of power in the U.S., but there are centers of commercial power all over the place. So we're looking at those two. How do we have a presence in the Midwest? How do we have a presence in some of the other states that are really important for our exporters? And I think if we put those different tools together, that's when we're going to have the ability to make the really strong case on behalf of Manitoba.
How long have you been working for the cops?
I'm in my 26th year.
In the same sort of department?
Yeah, always in petroleum. I was on the fuel truck for several years, but maybe 7 years ago, I came off the truck and now just on the agro, like not the agro, but the petroleum equipment, oil, fuel, DEF fluid, that kind of stuff.
So,
PR work, that kind of stuff.
where is your base?
Nipawak.
In Newport. So.
Yep, right across from High Life at that new location.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's Monday to Friday?
Yeah, Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Then in the summertime we have a Saturday shift as well.
Wow.
But to be fair,
No Sundays so far.
So have you seen the industry change over the many years?
Oh yeah. Like and everything's going bigger scale. That seems to be everything's bigger now.
Yeah.
Your smaller farmers, unless there's somebody else in the family wants to take over, it's kind of like they sell out, and the neighbor next door is a little bit bigger. They're taking over. That just seems to be the way things are going. Everything's bigger now.
Yeah. The actual equipment, that's changed as well?
Oh yeah, it's bigger now too. You almost need a section to turn some of these tractors and seeders around.
So this is your first and last day of this year's event?
Yeah, I'm just doing a half day shift this year.
Yeah.
They got enough staff this year to run the whole thing, so we're all doing shift work.
So you started this morning at?
It started 8:30 till 1 o'clock this afternoon. If they need me longer, I'll stay. But,
Yeah. Good. Anything you'd like to add?
No. Just like I said, it hasn't been that busy yet, but it's early, so they'll probably get busier. Maybe around 10 o'clock it'll get busier.
Well, judging by the vehicles in the parking lot, one would expect to see quite a few people.
And the weather, I think, is better today too. Might be more people come out today too.
Yeah. So we're with
Howard McKay from Penno's Machining.
And Penno's Machining is where?
Eden, Manitoba. And we're here showcasing the hay handler.
Okay.
And how it works is both sets of prongs are in the down position. A bale is picked on the right side, and then it's raised and swung outward to clear the ground while the second bale is picked. First bale is picked and lifted up. The second bale is picked on the other side. The first bale is let down, and the bales are placed on the trailer. When you get to the unloading point, you stab 2 bales on the trailer, activate the hydraulics, and spread them to be placed in 2 rows. By placing them in 2 rows, they do not touch and spoil. Thank you.
So when did you come up with this marvelous invention?
This started about 5 years ago. There were about 3 designs, and this is the final design, and it's been going well received. Great time saver, cut 50% off loading time, 50% off unloading time. No damage from a grapple fork or dragging bales on the ground. Works very well.
So the actual equipment is static. It sits in a particular location.
This goes on the loader of your tractor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and preferably on a larger tractor, 150 horse plus. Yeah, goes on the front end loader.
So where is it manufactured?
We manufacture it in-house and distribute it in-house. Yeah.
Now you have other ventures within Penno's, correct?
Yeah, we do have a machine shop, 3 guys machining, 3 guys welding, fix lots of hydraulic cylinders, front wheel assist castings, bearing surfaces, new shafts, what have you, general repair.
How long has the company been in operation?
Company's been in operation since 1981 and run by myself, my wife and my son James.
And I think this location you've had on a regular basis.
Yeah, at Ag Days we've always had this location, and 2 years ago we had won inventors for animal and livestock.
Now to actually position this here for Ag Days, does it dismantle or you just pick it up with a...
You can just pick it up from the end with the forklift and haul it out.
Okay. Here we have,
Lois McRae, owner of Marmac Farms.
and where are they located?
We're located southwest of Brandon.
Okay. How long have you been there?
My husband's been there his whole life in the Brandon area. I was originally from Souris, Manitoba.
Okay. So you've been working there quite a long time.
Yeah. Well, it'll be over 43 years, yeah.
Yeah.
And we raise Simmental and Angus cattle.
Tell me the difference between the Simmental and an Angus.
Well, every breed has its good and bad points.
Yeah.
The Angus cattle are noted for their maternal strength, and they can be red or black. And the Simmentals are more of a performance breed, so they're noted for adding pounds to their calf crop.
Yes. How do they react to the very cold weather in Canada?
All the cattle in Canada are, they can survive in this weather. They just need lots of bedding and lots of feed. And as long as they're taken care of well, they'll do fine, even if it's minus 40.
And you're heavily involved in bull sales, correct?
Yeah, we have our annual bull sale on the farm on March the 5th. And we'll sell Simmentals, Red Angus, and Black Angus yearlings and 2-year-olds. And we've been having a bull sale for, well, that'll be close to 35 years. So. Yep. But it's right on the farm, and we also have online bidding. If someone can't make it to the sale, they can bid online.
There's quite a bit of using technology these days with online bidding.
Yeah, there's technology. We have a Facebook page and a website, and lots of people, especially with the mail strike, couldn't get catalogs, but they can still go online and view our program and go from there.
Do you have any livestock here?
Yeah, we've got one bull here, and he will be.
What sort of poundage will he be? Anything you'd like to add?
No, just everyone's welcome if they want to come out to our bull sale. And Ag Days has been a good show. Lots of people have went through and seen the livestock and all the other displays.
Right on. That's right, yeah.
Hi, my name's Wayne Gullett. I've been with Marty Enterprise for 18 years. I'm the regional sales manager, and I travel most of Manitoba here, and that's about it for that. The Ag Days, we've got a pretty good oil sale on here at Ag Days. It's been very, very popular, and we've got twine and so forth on sale, also oil and oil carts and tote kit packages and so forth. So it's been a very successful 3 days.
How long has Mardi been in existence?
Oh, I'm not sure, to be honest. They've been around for a long time. Yeah.
And is it basically in Manitoba?
It's There's about 4 marketers in Manitoba. There's one around Winnipeg, one down by Winkler, and another one up by Russell, and we've got this one around here. So we go from Wascata to Portage, basically. So yeah.
So basically, you're involved in petroleum.
Petrol, yeah. We sell oil, fuel, and we also move a lot of propylene glycol and methanols and stuff like that, heat transfer fluids and so forth, and a lot of twine and net wrap and so forth.
Okay. How was your impression of Ag Days this year?
It's been really, really strong.
Yeah.
It's been very good. Yes, it's been good. We sell a lot of oil at Ag Days because Petrocan comes on board and we have special pricing in the 3 days. And it's just a 3-day blitz, but it's really worth doing. Guys can get their whole year's supply of oil, and it's good.
Anything you'd like to add?
No, but if you want to buy some oil for the Ag Days and you're not here, you can phone our office in Brandon. It's 728-4554, and Ken's there. He's our guy on the desk that'll take your orders, and it'll be awesome.
Okay, I'm Riordan Dennis, a organic farmer from Brookdale, Manitoba, and I am here at the 2025 Ag Days. I am helping out at the booth here, which is the booth for Full Bin Alarm, which is a business operated by John Guerrer, and he is from Ile-des-Chênes, Manitoba. So we're here in Brandon at this booth promoting the Full Bin Alarm, which is a very innovative system that has been available for 20 years and has sold over 20,000 units. So the basic gist of it is you have grain bins on a farm, you have machinery that's filling that grain bin, and it can be difficult to tell how full that bin is and when you're approaching the maximum capacity. So I could actually demonstrate the unit. I've got one right over here, John.
Okay.
So this here is the Full Bin Alarm. It's a complete unit that goes on your auger that you have. This spout replaces the spout that comes with the auger. So you put this spout on, and you put it into the top of the bin just like normal. Now the bin will be filling, the grain will be coming down through. Now once you get to the bottom of that spout, you're going to quickly fill this space here. and then the grain will start spilling out the sides. Now you're still in the bin, so you've got this much of your bin left by the time the grain comes to the bottom of the spout. Now once it's up inside this area, it's placing pressure on a sensor, and I'll push it there right now. So you hear that very loud alarm. So it's going to set off this alarm, which you have wired down to the bottom of the auger. Very audible, shooting sound both directions, and you've got this much of your bin left, so you know that you need to get that gate closed and get things shut down, and you move on to the next bin. And you did not have to climb the bin once in order to ascertain that you've got it full.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. So, how long has this been available?
20 years. 20 years now that John's been in business. Yeah. That's right.
It's very easy to install.
Yeah, it's a fairly straightforward process to install. It takes anywhere from 40 minutes to 1 hour. You take off the existing spout, put on the new orange spout. There is a mechanism on the other side where it hooks together to a wiring harness just like this one here. And you're going to go down the length of the auger and attach the wire along every so many feet with the zip ties, cable ties. And that'll have your alarm unit at the bottom, which will be strapped on underneath. We don't want to have it this way. It doesn't make a good rain gauge. We want it down like so. And then it's going to draw power from the trailer accessory light port on your tractor, so there's no extra batteries or any other components to maintain. So it's drawing power when you're using it. You have a little switch at the bottom that's going to put your light on at the top. The light indicates that you do have power, so it's a good indication the unit's working, as well as it helps you at night to find the opening of that bin. Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering about the power supply, but that looks pretty neat. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's an all-inclusive kit, and they're on sale during the show here, of course. But the regular price any time of the year is it's very good value for.
So you have a 10-inch, a 13-inch, and a 16-inch.
Yes, that's correct. Yep, we've got the 3 different sizes. As augers have gotten bigger and bigger, the most recent addition is the 16-inch. So that's quite a large one. We got one right over around the back here. And it's actually so large, just to ensure that sensor is getting triggered, it actually has 2 of the sensors in that one. So, yeah.
Anything you'd like to add?
Well, I just also add how the proprietor of this business, how him and I know each other. We're both actually members of the board of directors for the Organic Producers Association of Manitoba. So we've actually put our banner here, and just thought it'd be good to have a presence at the show and be able to talk about organic farming to anyone who might be interested.
Yeah, I'm Kendall Pinner, one of the third-generation owners of KK Pinner Tire Centers, out of our main branch, Blumenort, and we're just at the Brandon Ag Days here, and just enjoying the show. And it's always a good time of making some good business contacts and just reacquainting with different clients and customers. And we've KK Pinner Tire Centers has been in business since 1930, and again, business is ever evolving, and we keep trying to change with the times, and it's in our winter season right now, and we're anticipating another good year as we're moving into the spring and getting set up for spring and the different seasons up and coming. So, thanks again.
What sort of outlets do you have in Manitoba?
Outlets?
Yeah.
So we have 3 locations in Brandon, Neepawa, and Bloom North. And just doing full tire service out of all 3 locations. And
Is there a specific tire that you promote?
We've been a Michelin dealer for going on roughly 51 years. And so Michelin products are about 85% of what we sell and have sold over the years. And so we've been a very dedicated, loyal dealer to Michelin.
Personally, I'm a great believer of Michelin. Both here and previously when I was in the UK. I always believed in that. Have you seen an uptake on people transferring to winter tires this year compared to other years?
It's they've had different programs, even laws, more or less like in the between Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan. There hasn't been not as much so west. They've made tire bylaws making them mandatory, but even in our 3 provinces that we serve, there's still definitely there's different programs. They have the MPI program, which is like an insurance program, again, just to help the financing of tires, and that's also helped grow the winter tire market and business. And and the demand, safety is always a demand, and that definitely causes a real demand for the winter tires. So it's always becoming more and more, and so the winter tires is always growing. It's a growing market. So
now I come across people who either go in the direction of all-round winter tires, or they choose just winter tires on the front. Is there any? It's fully recommended to do winter tires in all 4 wheel positions, and that with the all-wheel drive and different mechanical configurations that there are, but it's still recommended to have 4 equal matching winter tires all around, versus doing just 2. And normally they change over to the summer tires in May. June?
The changeover to summer tires would generally be all seasons, as we call them. They would be, the general changeover period is April, so we're running the winter tires from October to April.
Studded tires, is that still popular?
Studded has been quite popular since the 70s, and it's still been a very strong market. There's a certain dependence, reliability factor with a studded tire, and it's still very, 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 very popular. It's a comfort zone for a lot of people, and just the technology that it is, definitely the studding market has still maintained very well. So,
anything you'd like to add?
No, that's just enjoying the show. So, you bet.